All right, I got that going. We had Howard Thompson and Roz Taylor was here. Our morning, your afternoon, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'll turn that on too.
I think it was our last night, actually.
Your last night, okay. Yeah, the time difference I was saying to Roz mystifies me to the US. So I'm used to the UK time difference, but that's because I've lived there and I've lived here, and I get that. But the US, I say, I always ask AI to work that out.
Yeah.
And that's the handy thing actually about the Facebook event is that it tells me my time, but I presume it tells you your time too. That something is it works out the time difference for us. So that's kind of good. Okay, so look, what I wanted to do was just sort of check in, give you opportunity to talk about developments on your channels. And this morning, our morning, I asked a couple of other questions as well. How are you currently promoting the network? What help could you use from the network, and what help are you prepared to offer? And when I talk network, I mean other content creators. So, for example, Howard said, "Oh, I'm not really doing anything with the network, but I'm busy mentoring Nathan Gladish to help him getting started." And I said to him, "Well, look, that's you're helping the network there. Okay, you're actually reaching out and helping a content creator do what the network is set up to do." So yeah, I just see how you go with that. John, do you want to talk about that, mate? I know you don't have your own channel, but you're involved at Off the Left Eye. You're responding to comments and stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So So I just retired, Lisa. Had my 65th birthday yesterday. So thank you.
Happy birthday.
And in retirement, thank you. In retirement, I'm started working for Off the Left Eye, volunteer. And I'm working on right now responding to commenters in the morning. So I work from 1 to 4 hours, taking a portion of the response time for the latest videos and any comments that people are making. So so I go into Facebook and look to the inbox and go through the Facebook comments, any kind of there's also direct email sometimes, and then there's we also have Instagram. So I do the Instagram comments too. And then I go to YouTube and I cover the second wave, we call it, where someone's already made a comment and we've replied to it, and then they've replied back. So I get all those replies and help answer those questions and comments. And so I was saying to David, as we were chatting before the meeting really started, I use AI. I use the New Christian Bible Study.org chat box, or .org or .org, I think. Anyway, their chat box for dealing with a lot of the questions. Sometimes they get like really into areas that I don't know very well, which is most areas. So I get help on almost every. It didn't start out that way when I was first doing them. I was just answering from my knowledge and from best I could understand what they were saying. But I find the chat helps me understand what people are saying a lot better. Another thing the chat does, GPT chat, is put it in a more positive light than I tend to. Like, they always see something good in what the person is saying. So they see a little deeper than I do sometimes, that the chat does. It's very helpful to me. It's very helpful to me. So just that's one of the things I'm doing. But the other project I have is related to this network that you were just talking about, David. Curtis Curtis calls it 100 off the left eyes for our project name. And it is right now it's not something I've been spent some time on it for sure. And but lately I've been doing the chat takes a lot of time, and then I've been focusing on Curtis's speech he's giving in Florida in mid-May, and I've been helping him format that and make all the screens. So we have a high priority there to get that done, because he's going to be in front of 1,000 people or more, and he needs to do that well. So, but I do have 2 resources to help me with this 100 off the left eye project. I have my son Matthew, who is a video expert, did a lot of the work that off the left eye's early videos, and he works for them part-time. And I have my son Curtis. He says he works for me on this project, so I have to bug him. But that was great for him to clarify that, he's not going to direct me. He's going to think of him as someone to support me as I try to work on this. And it's just now become an official project because the foundation just got some big funding from a major donor, and it's one of the things. Yeah, it's one of the things we're going to be reporting on every quarter. So that makes it very significant. So it made the list of things we want to tell these very wealthy, high important people what we're working on, and so that makes it a higher priority right there. If we're going to be reporting on it, we have to have results each quarter, and so I look forward to that challenge. I have. Maybe I could share my screen for a second.
Let's see if I can allow you to do that. Hopefully you can. Is it letting you?
I'm going to hit present now, and I'm going to try to. I'm not so used to these tools,
That's okay.
So let's see, the entire screen. Let's go with Chrome tab. I'll try that. Yeah, it's not letting me share. It's grayed out. So let me try Let me try this here. Okay, now it's letting me share. Can you guys see anything yet?
Not yet. It will probably. Oh, yeah, hang on. Here we go. 100 off the left eyes.
Yeah, and that's nothing big. But this is where I go to do my research on this PowerPoint. Get my thoughts down on what is this and why are we doing it and who. So this is, Swedenborg-based content creators around the world with a purpose to ensure longevity and widen the reach and variety of this type of content. Like if Curtis, God forbid, gets hit by a bus, we want to have people out there that are also trying to share, and then doing this by leveraging the best practice of the Off Left Eye team. So Off Left Eye team has been very successful, and they've got a bunch of best practices. We want to leverage that for the rest of the community, and by providing mutual support for each other, like what Dave's definitely done here is exactly what we want to support, which is supporting each other because it's a hard job creating content. And so provide that mutual support. By doing this, we're able to reinforce the reputation of Swedenborg's ideas out in the world. More and more people around the world see Swedenborg is going to reinforce Swedenborg's reputation, and the public, gets more confidence when they see a wider footprint. So we reinforce each other by just working together, and foster a consistent brand. So that's something that might not be comfortable for all the people we would approach that are out there creating content, but we would like to have so our consistent brand is, we're hoping people are mentioning Swedenborg and at some point in their conversations or in their content, and we're hoping we could even sort of rank it as how well we think it meets the brand. Like, are they saying something about Swedenborg? Are they sharing a quote from Swedenborg? There's things that really would be what Curtis's and Off the Thighs all excited about, which is really just getting Swedenborg ideas out into the world. So that's, we're trying to see if there's, and it can be just something that's referred to, but there's levels of supporting the brand, I guess, is what we see, and we'll get more interested in and sort of prioritize based on how we see that. So I don't want that to cause problems, but that's just the truth we really want to have. We're excited about Swedenborg and what he has to say, and we're trying to get that highlighted from people. And then, so what's the requirements and the process? Find creators is the thing I'm doing now. So Dave, your list is just absolutely awesome. That's what I used. I pasted it into this PowerPoint, and I slowly go to each link and
fabulous. All right, I'm glad it's getting used.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to each link and I'm watching people's content for I'm retired, so I can sit there and watch what people are saying and get a feeling for who they are and what's their particular point of view, their particular audience and stuff. So I'm finding anyone that gets added, I'm adding them to this analysis that I'm doing here. And then I want to score creators, which sounds like school, but it's just what I want. There's going to be so many that I want to be able to sort of prioritize who we meet with first and where we start providing feedback, because it takes a lot of time to meet with someone and talk to them and feel where we could support them and things like that. So we got to put people in some kind of order. It just is the way it is. So so I haven't cleared this with Curtis yet or whatever, but I'm just getting my thoughts together. So, one of the areas we would score is clearly promoting Swedenborg, mentions and quotes Swedenborg regularly. And then a second bullet point is a demonstrated drive for succeeding as a creator. So, a lot of this came, Dave, from that video you shared with that one woman who is talking about how she gets successful in YouTube. I really like that. That really impacted me, that video. And really what she talks about there is people who keep attempting to improve. I mean, it's hard enough to create content, but you guys are also, I see, attempting to improve what you do. I can see it in many forms. That's something that we kind of want to, if someone is not, it's hard enough just to create content, but we do want to kind of track that. And then the third thing is sort of the numbers. Just are there videos being published, and take a look at subscribers and views and have that factor in. And then the process would be I propose, and I'll get Curtis's feedback on this, is meet with the creators. Do they want to affiliate? We don't even know what that means, as far as we want to talk to some of you guys first to see what we think that could be. It could be something like an extra logo that we create that you put in at the very end when you're doing your end slides or whatever it is. We'd want to talk about that. We'd want to have a feedback session. My thought is to have a lunch and learn at work, which is Off the Left Eye's Foundation lunch table, and have us review some videos that you guys are doing as that technical group, not with the creators themselves, but just to get the feedback from all the experts in the different areas there. We got people who are experts at handling comments, people who are, I hope you guys can still hear me.
You're breaking up a little bit, Mike, but I'm getting the gist of it, I think.
Me too.
Okay, good. Yeah, I see it froze for a second. So, yeah. So then, so meet with the creators, get that feedback, and then give the feedback. Attempt to build a support community, which is, Dave, you've really really are doing that. And I don't know if we do anything but support you as as we tend to try to meet like this, because I think this is really what we want. Just getting these discussions going. So, and then build the creator community, which is what we're talking about here, just for support, encouragement, and share insights on a regular basis, like you're doing. So, and then, you know, I daringly want to come up with a formula for scoring. So, so I've made this formula I have at the bottom of this page here, and I weighted certain factors, and the numbers game being the lowest weighting, and the Swedenborg promotion and driven. This is something I'd have to run past Curtis and Tim Bilger and others to really see if they agree. But and then scoring would be low, medium, and high as far as these different things go. And the numbers game, I've just thrown in some things there. Really just ranking each other rather than it's really ranking the community as far as the numbers go. Just so we, you know, if there's someone that really has high viewership or something, like I think of I gotta forget his name, but the guy now in Toronto.
Todd.
Yeah, Todd Bice.
Toronto. Yeah.
I mean, he's got some videos that have really got some high numbers, but he stopped producing. So, you know, we really want to kind of have those people stand out and get with them pretty early on and say, hey, how can we get you back in here? What can we do to help you?
Yeah.
Do that.
Maybe he just took a break. Did he stop or did he take a break?
Well, it's been a year.
Yeah,
okay.
I think, look, part of it is a new moving to a new city, new pastorate. Because I asked him this, and I think he probably intends to get back into it, but it will very much depend on what happens in Toronto. I think, you know, he's got to get the lie of the land. I think he's got bigger responsibilities than he had in Hurstville. You know, there's a school there, isn't there? I think, and
yes,
so it's a bit more demanding, the role that he's in, than it was, and in part he began what he did in Hurstville because he was kind of twiddling his thumbs and thinking, what am I going to be doing? You know, so yeah, we'll wait and see. But yeah, I'd be working on Todd. I'd be encouraging him to keep going because he was producing good stuff.
Yeah. Yep. And so, so that's what I mean by the numbers. Like some of those people we'd catch by doing this formula. Hey, you know, even though they're not producing, you know, it would highlight them. So that's kind of the little scoring thing. And then my tool that I use for myself here is, because it gets hard to know how to handle this. Like, so I have each location, each creator, say, has I pulled in their logo by going to their site, and then I've gathered some information just by watching their videos. You know, I started to think about placing people on a map to try to see where we are.
Okay.
This is more for the bigwigs than anything. You know, they love to see maps of the world. So
you made this to get your funding? That's a good PowerPoint.
No, I didn't do it to get the funding. This is just me trying to organize. Trying to organize my thoughts. So so what I've done for myself here is that each of these has a link to the later slide, and I have a section for the person. So here's Dave. I have some background. Who's the target audience, which I love, because you kind of spoke to that at one somewhere in your information. You know, where's the main content, and you know, reaching, and you know, are you active or not, and you know, some of this information, and then the areas of support I hope to fill in as part of the process as we meet and talk. And so I locate a particular person in the same map, and then a particular creator, and then I started to think about a feedback sheet, like when I have this internal meeting, I want to have people watch and then see what they see with their expert eyes. This would be, Curtis in the speech area, and it would be Karen in the support area, and it would be our technical staff in the video area, Jesse Johnson, and others there. So we would, this is incomplete here, but this is some of my thoughts on what I notice. Do I see people's eyes? The voice and pacing good? Is the sound level good and the quality good? And just be able to, in the end, the purpose is, where can we come back with that person and maybe give them some high level impact support in that area. And then one of the big things is, we've had one of the experts we have is Chris Dunn, who's super good at getting videos to have a good title so they reach people. And so there's some of that kind of logistics stuff. So, and then then I move on to the next. So that's pretty much what I've been working on and what I hope to get back to this week. I'm probably going to throw all this away because I'm going to be meeting with my son Matthew, because I feel like I can prepare for one quarterly review with this type of approach, but I want to have something, some kind of a tool that it's easy to update as the views and things change, and as so the whole look can whip around and reprioritize people as they change and develop. I don't want to have a one-time scoring situation that is so cumbersome. So I'm going to be working with Matthew to try to get a good tool for this ongoing reporting, because it's a project that we expect to last, ongoing 1 to 5 years or whatever, to get a good on. So
that's great, John. Thank you for sharing that with us. I think that's fabulous. I really look forward to how that progresses. And the other thing I'll say too is, I really appreciate the fact that you're visible on YouTube, on Facebook, commenting on videos. You're sharing videos on Facebook, I think, too. And just really, you're kind of, you're the engagement pod at the moment. So I find that really encouraging that you're doing that. Good. That's fabulous.
Good. And I just love you guys' content. And it's a privilege to watch and give a little bit of feedback. And obviously I'm hoping to affect people who are on my Facebook and get them to start enjoying your stuff, and then maybe doing some of it themselves. And you're right. That's kind of what we hope to do. And I see, like, one of the off the left eye regulars, Chinanwe from Africa. I see now she's watching, Lisa, your videos and commenting every time you guys put one out. And so that's that kind of thing that's kind of cool.
Lisa, can we move on to you and how things are going in your part of the world?
Yeah, I think things are going well. I was just thinking as we were talking that I'm not sure. We have the Deborah's Tree channel, but there's also a separate one for Gathering Leaves, which is the women's retreat. And we last time, and hopefully next time upcoming, we will be putting up videos from there too. My main job is that I work for Roz, and I videotape the brunch events, which are the home church brunch events with video production sponsored by Deborah's Tree. These are actually two separate entities that Roz created, the home church and also Deborah's Tree. And they're slightly different ministries, and she could tell you what is different about them better than I could. But Deborah's Tree is a 501c3 whatever, as far as the designation of what kind of business it is. So there's a lot of the stuff that we do that involves, funding and money and donations goes through that, because that's a thing. And I don't know if there's a thing for home church like that. But home church is a group that meets bi-weekly, every other week, and has church in the home of somebody in the community. And usually Roz will be leading, and sometimes we will have lay leadership when she's in Australia, or sometimes she'll be leading from Zoom, or Roz has a very fun international travel schedule. So let's see. Most recent development is, I think one problem we've been having is that it's easy to record videos. It's hard to edit videos. And so we have a lot in the can, so to speak, that has to get moved onto YouTube. And we have recently, I've been working with another guy, Roy. So we're trying to get him sort of on board to do a lot of video editing for us. And I have high hopes that it will work out. We've had a couple other people who tried. The main thing with the challenge with the brunch videos is that they're an hour and a half, which is by YouTube standards, that's long form content, right? Like,
yeah. So do you not get the watch time? You not get the views on those videos? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying it's hard to edit a video that's an hour and a half, because your computer is just grinding away at it for hours sometimes.
I see. Yeah.
With the rendering. So I have that, like this computer that I'm communicating with you on now is named Beacon, and Beacon is a gaming computer, not because I game, I don't, but specifically because I needed something with a lot of RAM and a decent video card to try to get these videos done, because brunch talks are videotapes of live performances of talks that people are giving. And obviously there are talks that are more well behaved and orderly, and there are talks where people are walking in late and sneezing and coughing and clinking, their brunch silverware and stuff on their plates. And so some of them can be need quite a bit of cleanup to become a video that you can watch on YouTube and not be like, oh, this is terrible. Like every 5 seconds, somebody else is walking in, and like, I can't follow the train of this video. So that is primarily the challenge I do. Also on the channel, Roz does her own little short videos that she'll just typically record without editing. Like if she messes up, she'll just do it all over again. So those go up. We have another kind of video that's like a meditation video that are just pure. It's 10 minutes of nature. And that got started because we did an event that was like a silent retreat to encourage meditation. And I said, but Roz, we're doing it at the Lord's New Church, which has a beautiful campus. But also, if you're older, and some of the people who come to our events are, maybe you can't just walk around the campus because it's, it's challenging. It's not, I wouldn't say it's 100% accessible for everybody. So for that event, I started making meditation videos, and I made a couple more, but they're just 10-minute segments in nature, and you're just watching a stream or something. It doesn't move. And then you get another 10-minute segment of something somewhere else, and those go on for about an hour. And there are a bunch of different themes. So that's I found out that they help, like if inmates are shown videos of nature while they're in prison, it like helps their mental health and decreases the problems that they have when they get out. So that's sort of I tag them prison ministry, and I hope that they get to someone who needs to see them. So, I don't stress too much about numbers, and I'm definitely not out there ranking other Swedenborgian channels. If somebody posts something to the Swedenborgian network, I will give them feedback. My video production training is that when I was 11 and 12, I went to an after school program thing called Cine Kid in Willow Grove with kids and video. And so a lot of my training comes from there, and I've had to relearn everything several times because we used to shoot on VHS tapes, which is no longer a thing that people do. And so we've got a lot of equipment. That's the other thing Roy has been helping me with is when I was 11 or 12, they didn't let us, the kids, you had to be the high school age to learn how to shoot with the cameras. So I have a general understanding of how they're supposed to work, but I was happy that last week at brunch, Roy was helping me set up shots and like give me some advice. So I think it's great to have a network where we all can share skills, because like sometimes there's things you don't realize you don't know, and that like category can hinder your video production efforts. And it's always nice to find something like, oh, that makes my life a lot easier. So does that answer your question? What was the other part of your question?
Oh, well, it was to see how you're going, to see how, if you're supporting the network in any way, as in other creators. I know you comment and things.
Yeah, I definitely do comments when I have time. I watch other people's videos, and I try to be honest about feedback. Like sometimes videos have to improve, but I guess it's just best to say that straight out so that people know. And also what one person likes, another person may not like. So I hope people receive those comments with a grain of salt. And let's see, what else? I did upload a few things. I need to upload video clips to the shared thing. I have a bunch that are just flowers. I'm like, somebody could use this, but I'm probably not going to use it. Yeah. I think I'm probably not as into, like I think Roz would be the one to set it up if she were to want to get somebody on our channel. But also we do have a forum so people can sign up to do brunch talks, because that's probably the easiest way to get on our channel, because it's something we already do. So if you want to do a brunch talk, you can fill out the form on the Deborah's Tree website. It's under the events tab. It says nominate yourself to be a brunch talk speaker or nominate somebody else. Or I think it's brunch talk speaker nominations. So you can nominate whoever you want. I don't think we've had a cause to turn anyone down, but brunch talks are sponsored by Home Church, or brunch talks, are the Home Church brunch event. And so I have the thought that probably we would select, if we had an overabundance of applications, we would select things that would be of interest to the people in the home church. So, it's an inclusive ministry, probably not going to be a lot of videos about why we should exclude people from things, if you take my meaning. So, but other than that, I think we have men doing brunch talks, we have women doing brunch talks. So anybody can put their name forward, and we hope that they do.
Yeah. I made the comment on the network post that you put, because I had to look at it and thought, oh, I'll put my hand up to that. But time.
Yeah, I know.
The
Time zones
difference
make
is
it a
a
little
problem.
rough. But like, yeah, if you would ever want to stay up till 3 a.m. or whatever, we will put your face in front of a bunch of people in Bernathen. We mostly shoot them in the sunroom at Caronwood Village at this point. And we thank Caronwood Village because they have been very accommodating to us. They put Wi-Fi out there. Now they put they were getting a new TV for the dining room, and so they put the old one in the sunroom so that I don't have to haul a TV back and forth, which is what I used to do. So I owe them my eternal gratitude for that. But prior to that, we shot in Be Well Bakery restaurant. We had one time where we rented a Quaker meeting house room. So one thing that is always going on at Deborah's Tree is portability. Like, we're always setting up in different places. We hold most of our events at the Lord's New Church, so we have to be able to set up in there. So I have a lot of just cameras and equipment and things being set up and taken down all the time. I think one thing I would love to have, and I don't know if anybody would be in the position to know how to get this, but like maybe a more permanent kind of a space or a studio, or, you know, rent some studio access or something, so that we wouldn't have to do quite so much moving around. But that is probably a very long-term goal, given our level of funding. So yeah, but it's something that I hope we can do someday.
Okay, cool.
You always have an audience involved, right, Lisa?
We always have an audience.
Yeah.
At where? At Caronwood?
Let's see. So Deborah's Tree, when you do your brunch talks, there's people there, and you're recording it live with people, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they ask questions.
So if you had a space that you were just mentioning you needed there for like a home place, that you would want a place that had some chairs for a studio type audience, right?
Yeah, I will say our audience, I mean, it sort of varies. It's probably not more than 10 people most of the time, but it can be, you know, like 15 if there's something that people care a lot about. It often can be more. And so that's, you know, we might be in the dining room, for example, at Caronwood, which is much bigger than the sunroom, if we think there's going to be lots of people.
A big part of it sounds like it's the community that is experienced as you have the speaker and you just capture what's being said. Doesn't really, I'm just talking out loud, doesn't really like lend itself to like a pre-recorded, like I think of Dave Moffat could do a pre-recorded thing, and you could and then if you had a studio space, that gets tough to do an audience in there unless you've got a studio space that has audience. So yeah,
I mean, I guess it would have to be at least as big as the sunroom in Caronwood, which is not an enormous room. I'm trying to think. Maybe it's like a 15 by 15 or 15 by 20 or something.
Right.
Feet. Sorry, I don't think in meters. I know. You're looking at me like I have no idea what you're talking about right now. I think it's been pretty great. We do, yeah, people come, and I will say, like, that's another reason that necessitates the editing, which is why the videos are backlogged, because not every comment is appropriate for YouTube. We do try to edit overshares and things people say that aren't nice. Basically, you know, if it wouldn't pass the, you can criticize an institution, you can criticize like the top leader of an institution, but you shouldn't by name criticize just a random person, like, or you know, talk about them behind their back. So sorry. There's always some kind of drama going on in my house, and today it has to do with cats needing to go to the vet. But the one we captured a feral cat, and she will not come out and let us put her in the carrier to take her to the vet. So I think this visit today may get rescheduled. But so, like, yeah, that little story, YouTube, you know, doesn't necessarily need to know it. So if that had gone on in a it doesn't have to do with my talk, right? Like, if that had gone on in a brunch event, I would snip it out, because it distracts from the flow of the presentation. So that's and then the earlier videos, basically what happened is I got a lot of equipment to sort of deal with the issues with sound and people walking in and out and stuff like that. So now I video those brunch events from a few different angles, and I can stick two of them on the Zoom, so I can go back and forth from the audience and the speaker. So that's kind of nice. But I also have a couple backup ones in case the sound on it, something fails, or somebody, for whatever reason, stands right in front of the camera and all you see is like the whole shot is just like the back of somebody's head. You're laughing, but
no, I understand. Seen it happen.
It's happened. So, you know, and you don't want your whole video to be scrapped because of that, ideally. So I try to get a bunch of angles when we're doing that, a live presentation, and whenever possible. Sometimes you don't have enough equipment. When we do gathering leaves, there are usually at least three different talks going on simultaneously. I can usually stream or like put one on a Zoom, but the other two I'm just recording, and I don't have unlimited cameras. So, you know, there may be, when I have to go down to one camera per speaker, it sometimes doesn't end well. But, you know, all we can do is our best. And I always try to, I think my mission in life is slightly different than Roz's. She is ordained. She has a ministry. I'm a sociologist. I have like a culture and history kind of a perspective. So it's important to me to record all these things for posterity, as much as the good things as we can. But sometimes we have a video of controversy that people are unhappy about, and why do I preserve that? I preserve it because hopefully there will be Swedenborgians in the future, and they need to know where we've been, and, you know, what didn't work out so well, what we can do differently, mistakes that were made organizationally. I think that's important, so that we don't spend a lot of time in the future, you know, making the same mistakes. Making the same mistakes, repeating cycles that are shrinking us down and making us fight with, you know, within organizations or across organizations, which is another one I have always found ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't feel the need to be like, this is the brand necessarily, but I do appreciate the idea that we need to have an identity. Okay, listen, Scientologists have this, right? If I say, I met a Scientologist the other day, you probably have in your mind, like, oh, that's that person in that wacky Hollywood religion, right? Like, you know what that is. Swedenborgianism has been around for like 100 years longer, at least. And if I say I'm a Swedenborgian, still people don't know what that is. And that growing up to me was, especially when I went out, I went to Minnesota for 2 years for college, and just the blank stares, you know, just like it was very, very hard for me to know that I wasn't even a thing on anybody's map anywhere. So I do want there to be a vision of not just who Swedenborg is, which I know is a heavy lift all by itself, but who Swedenborgians are. And when I first started looking at like YouTube channels and what was the content that was getting put out about Swedenborgians, I saw a lot of white men leading church. And I thought, that is not the only thing that Swedenborgians are. So that is why I really like the brunch talks. We put a lot of different thinkers in there. Some you may agree with, some you don't. And if there were a way to further expand like the different faces and places of Swedenborgianism, unfortunately I can't be everywhere at once, but I would love to see that. I know from my grandparents' experience, when they converted, often what draws people in is the community. So it's not just that you're selling a guy. It's like you're selling, come here, this is where we have connections. These are fun people to hang out with. Yeah. Like we have a loneliness epidemic going on. So I think it's super important to, you know, if you want to like advertise and grow, is to just let people know, like, look, here's a bunch of people having fun. Don't you wish you were having fun? Like you could come here with us and have fun, you know, or hop on the Zoom with us. I think that kind of thing is it's an indispensable, to my opinion, part of it. And I know there are ministers like, no, we just want sermons. We only want to do sermons on this channel. But I think the social part is super important too.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You know, in support of that, Lisa, I think one of the happiest places I get to is being on the chat when there's a live stream off Left Eye. That people there, the community is just so beautiful, and it's from all over the world, and everyone's supporting each other. Some people will say something that's going hard in their life, and everyone chimes in with help and prayers. And yeah, you're right. It's a lot about community. And that's kind of what responding to everyone's question is also, I think, supports that sense of community. So yeah, you really hit the nail on the head. That's good to bring that up and get us realize how important that is to what we're doing, is not only create the content, but then engage with people and create community from that engagement. So yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I like that. I really like that.
Yeah.
And I'll throw in too something I said this morning. So our subscriber numbers I now no longer take seriously, in the sense I actually don't believe it.
Yeah, there's some bots and stuff going on lately.
Yeah.
I think that may reflect YouTube's struggle to maintain its relevance in the face of competitors.
Okay.
Basically, YouTube, I think in 2017 had some kind of big purge where they kicked off a lot of very controversial content. Right. Okay, like all the white supremacy and the conspiracy theory and misogynist men's self-help creators and other, you know, racist and stuff kind of content creators and far-right political American content creators. And the problem is those people went all in a chunk to other places and set up on like Rumble and BitChute and stuff like that. And out of that came a lot of the very strange things you will see happening in American politics, I'm convinced. Because unfortunately, like all that stuff, like a lot of well-meaning people who are just like, I just want to talk about the JFK assassination. Like, I'm going to follow my creator there. But then suddenly they were on this version of YouTube that's the competitor version, and that was entirely populated by everybody who got kicked off of YouTube. And the problem was a lot of that content was really bad. And so people got radicalized just because they didn't realize, like, oh, there's not the other normal stuff on here. It's just conspiracy theories and really radical ideas. But also, unfortunately, radical ideas attract a lot of eyeballs. Like, people are like, wait, what did you say? Like, that's why clickbait titles are like attractive to people. But, you know, and it's easy to go for them, and it's hard to in the moment realize the long-term damage that can kind of do to promote things like that, and to, you know, sort of play to this flight or fight instinct by having an alarming headline. So because then people just get this dopamine kind of cycle of like being alarmed all the time, which is maybe not good for us.
No. So where I go on our channel is the comments. That, you know, for me, that's where the real life of the thing is. And sometimes, you know, quite extended conversations that take place over the course of several videos. You know, someone will come back and keep posting stuff. I've got one guy who posts, and then a couple of days the comments disappeared. It's gone. And that's just the way he does things. But, you know, so we continue this conversation over the course of, now it's got to be a dozen videos or so this guy's been. So, you know, that for me is where I get a sense of where the value of the thing is. So,
I mean, don't give up if you get bots, but yeah, YouTube is trying to maintain relevance, and it's got to compete with TikTok and you know, and these Rumble and these other things now.
I mean, I don't mind getting bots. My issue was that I did some Google advertising, and what YouTube threw at me was like 1,000 subscribers from this one campaign. But as far as I can see, they were all bots. There was very few real people in there. So
it's so hard when like the incentives are perverse, right? Like YouTube wants good content creators. It's actually kind of a compliment. It's like, hey, YouTube wants me to keep making more stuff because who's buying these bots, right? Like it's them.
Right.
So
yeah. So so that's the way. So for me, it's the comments where I see the value rather than the subscriber numbers.
Agreed.
You know that,
usually you can feel confident that if someone has made a comment that is responding to you, that they are not a bot.
Yeah.
Not always, sometimes.
Look, it's getting close to the hour, so I'm going to sign off soon. But I just wanted to, from what we were talking about before, I just want to check out you guys what you think about the how regularly should we have these sorts of hangouts and chats. It's been 3 months or something since the last one. We've had 5 people in the course of yesterday for you and now. Do you think it's something that's worth our while doing, say on a monthly basis?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether or not I would always sort of be able to attend monthly. Sure. It depends on what else is going on. But I think potentially, and also, you know, if you have a goal that's like a monthly goal, like you want this many videos to have been commented on and analyzed, or you know, you're looking to achieve something, then yeah, you would maybe want a monthly thing to plan it. You know, this month it's the YouTube channel dating game. This month we're going to pick people's names out of a hat and y'all are going to interview each other or whatever. Like if you had a meeting to set something like that up, maybe that would be a monthly thing that might get people to come to it.
I mean, another thing that I thought of too was, you know, how do we leverage the engagement pod to work the most effectively, you know, and how do we get an engagement pod moving? You know, because we've got a couple of people like Jonathan and yourself, Lisa, you know, commenting on videos. I try and watch people's videos, make a comment when I get a chance. Tuesday's my day off. That's my chance in the morning to listen to a few sermons or, you know, whatever else, throw a comment in there. But how do we leverage that? How do we make it more effective? So that's something I'd like to chat, you know, more in depth with people about.
I would say to you, maybe try to find a way to gamify it, right? Gamify it, make there be some little reward if you make, you know, 15 comments on people's channels, or you know, or whoever does the most, whatever, gets to interview Curtis on their channel or whatever. I know maybe Curtis would not like me volunteering him for free work, but I don't know. Something fun, something fun that people have a reason to work on it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, John, if you're going to attend monthly, that'd be great. I say, and maybe it opens it up for others who are not expecting people to turn up monthly. I think that's not the point of it, but give opportunity for more people to come in as and when they feel able, or the need to do so.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, maybe you could get a thing going with some young people. That would be another thing that potentially could be a good goal to cultivate. Would be how can we get some college age, you know, like adult people, but young people involved in becoming content creators.
And they're there. They are there. They're like in the UK. You've got a little group there that do, you know, the YPC.
Because they may have a little more free time and have a little more energy and be able to respond to challenges and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know how much free time they've got, but but yes, I mean they've got a stack of content they've pre-recorded that they're just slowly releasing. So it's there, and I'd like to encourage them to get on camera. That's the thing, but we'll work on that. Okay, look, it's sorry, John, what was the question about? Who was that?
You said some group in UK. I just wanted to.
Oh, YPC is the Young People's Committee, I think they're called.
Is that on our list, or is that not?
I think it should be.
Okay, I will look for that.
Let me just check.
Yeah.
I'll look for it.
YPC. Yes, it. Yeah, it's.
Like in Bernathen, we have a college, but I don't know that we have a college YouTube channel, or I don't know that we have a college YouTube channel that the kids participate in.
Yeah.
So that's something to find out about.
Yeah. No, they're on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
They're not on YouTube. I don't think they're on Facebook, but they've certainly got an Instagram channel. So Young People's Committee, General Conference of the New Church, UK.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool.
All righty. Thanks, guys, for joining me. It's been great to have you here. I'll pop the recording up on the on our YouTube channel for people to watch and hopefully get a few comments from folk.
Great, David. Thank you. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
thanks so much.
Nice seeing you guys. See you later.
Yeah, you too. Stay well.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.